This is episode number 6 of the Technology Nats Roundtable discussion for March 15th, 2009.
250,000 Twitter. Wahaha.
And welcome to the Technology Nats Roundtable discussion. With us this week, we've got Darren.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going great. And we've got the one, the only, the Doc Builder.
Hey, how's it going? Great to be on the show this week.
All right, we're going to get right into stories, and you're up first, Doc.
The first story I'm going to be bringing to the Tech Nights Roundtable this week will be about new batteries that are being developed for laptops and cell phones. These batteries are of a lithium-ion composition. And basically, the way that MIT researchers are building them is that batteries for cell phones are going to be able to charge within 10 seconds. That is what is predicted on estimates in the lab right now. And batteries for laptops will also be a lot faster recharged when plugged in. I think this is awesome, and it will save a lot of time for people who need their batteries now for cell phones or laptops or whatever.
Yeah, I was looking into the technology for this story and everything, and the way how it works are there are these little balls that are inside the batteries. The batteries are going to become smaller, and what they have are these little balls in there that are like about 3 nanometers across in diameter. And there's going to be like thousands of these things in the batteries now, and what they do is they allow a quicker release for the energy, which makes it so that all the electrons and protons stuff, they react faster. And with that, then it charges up 10 times faster. So that's how all this technology works. I thought that was like super amazing. I was like, yes.
Awesome.
All right. Do you know if they said anything about, because cool, you can charge your phone in 10 seconds, all this different stuff. But I think the biggest use for this, and the area where, the person who invented this is going to become a billionaire, is in cars and all these electric cars that are coming out now. Think about it. Because right now with an electric car, sure, they're cool and everything. You pay, $150,000 for a reason. Well, for one, it really, there's no real tier on them right now. But, and then you charge it overnight, and then you can go on your commute and everything. But say you want to go on a drive and drive halfway across the country. You really can't, because you'd be driving for 8 hours, plugging in for like 16, and then, it would take a long time. So, I guess you could do it. But just think about it. Right, with this technology and everything, you could basically make, it can't be that hard to convert half of the pumps at these gas stations and everything to be just plug in, just stand there for a minute even, I wouldn't care, and then you drive off and your car's charged to 95% or something like that.
Well, this is what I know about, you said that it takes 10 hours for a car to recharge. I know there are actually some stations that are already in the works, and there's some home chargers you can buy that make it a lot faster, like an hour. It only takes an hour.
Well, even then, it doesn't take an hour for me to put gas in my car.
That's true.
You have to, before there'll be any kind of mass market for these type of cars and everything. And we really need them and everything. We need to get away from this foreign oil and everything. These batteries, if they really are what they say they are, and they can get them out, because there's so much stuff that they've said they could do with batteries, and then you come back and you're just like, they said that 10 years ago, but I have yet to see any of it. But, this definitely looks promising. I was also reading the article that they only have data right now for 50 charge-recharge cycles.
Yeah, cycles.
But even then, it's showing that there's no dropping capacity. Because, right now, if you're driving around a hybrid, yeah, that's all cool and dandy. But if you're looking to have it as a reasonably long-term car and everything, you really don't know when all of a sudden you're going to have to replace those batteries. And those batteries are not cheap at all.
Sometimes the battery will just stop holding a charge, and that's when you need to get a new one.
So if General Motors could work this into they've got their Volt coming out, if they could work this into the next one and everything, because I don't want them to wait for this technology to come out and push that back even further. They've pushed it back way too far already. But I'm definitely really pumped about this technology, and just all the promises that it has.
Yeah, it's very interesting that the article does state that they are in works with General Motors, and they've licensed the battery technology to their new Chevy Volt, completely electric car, right? The Chevy Volt is it's not a hybrid. It's going to be an electric car, right? Yes.
Well, I mean, either way, I mean, hybrids have kind of paved the way for electric cars, because right now electric cars aren't all that practical, and that's because they can't be recharged fast. And
that's actually debatable. There was an electric car, I believe, in 1996. It's about in this movie called Who Killed the Electric Car, and that was an electric car. That was, I think, before hybrids. Are actually, hybrids have probably existed for a long time, like in different ways. But
and in different ways, I'm pretty sure they actually have. But I mean, there wasn't a really mass market for them and everything, and there was a lot of stuff that went on in the 90s with electric cars, and I don't think we're going to get into that right now, because I mean, that would be corrupt. That would be a podcast in itself.
Corruption by the big automakers, and they lost. You know why? You know why they lost? Toyota was able to come in with their hybrid and steal the whole market, and now the Prius is one of the biggest sellers in America.
Definitely. So, they love that. They leverage that, and now we've got the foreign automakers that are really big in the United States. And
so that was really smart, huh? Big American automakers, huh? Let's squash electric cars, and then 3 years later, we're going to be begging the government for billions of dollars because we're going bankrupt. Okay, that worked out.
Yeah, definitely.
Good discussion.
I think we'll go ahead and move on to our next story now before we get into too much of a heated back and forth there. And there's been some interesting stuff going around the interwebs lately about Twitter. I mean, Twitter is like the new thing.
Twitter, huh?
Yeah, you've never heard of it. But I mean, I literally can't turn on the news. I mean, I can't do anything now. I can't even watch Leno without them going on and on about Twitter, like Leo does and everything on his show every week that people complain about.
Leo Laporte of the Tech Guy and Twit?
Absolutely.
Technology? Oh.
But this week, Jason Calacanis, founder of Weblogs Inc., Mahalo, and I mean, just all around pretty cool guy, came out with an offer to Twitter to be become one of the top 20 suggested spots for. They get this, they pay him $250,000 for 2 years. He would pay them. And
that's just an offer. Twitter has not said anything to him. They did not impose this offer onto him. This is just something Jason Calacanis came up with, an idea he came up with in his spare time, completely invented by him.
I mean, first of all, it's crazy that he has this much money lying around to just throw at social media. But it really, if you think about it, you wouldn't. This is the type of thing where you're kind of in an interesting place, because I'd really like to see Jason Calacanis be able to do this and everything. Because for one, it would kind of show that Twitter does have somewhat of a revenue model, because they've got all these people standing here. I mean, a lot of people will pay a lot of money. I mean, they'll pay more than a Super Bowl ad, I'm willing to bet, to put their name out there and for people to look at them and everything. Yeah. So, I mean, with this, he's basically saying, I mean, well over, some of them have over 250,000 followers that have been featured before. And, I mean, just crazy and everything. Which led the TechCrunch, this is a TechCrunch story, to come out and...
TechCrunch is run by Jason Calacanis, is a co-founder of TechCrunch, a company that basically advertises startup companies in the...
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's a founding. They have this little thing down here.
Well, basically, what TechCrunch is, it's a company about reporting on startups, right?
Yeah.
It's like
the way he's involved is the TechCrunch 40 or TechCrunch 50. Okay, it used to be the TechCrunch 40. And he works with them and everything on it to get startups out there and everything.
And they have like an event every year too, where it's like a giant public exhibition, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of these companies.
And so they've been featured on this list before, and I believe they might still be. I'm not too sure, but so they showed their traffic data and everything from when they were featured and everything, and what it showed is pretty much that they got a lot of followers. These new followers that just basically said, "Oh, okay, let me follow all these people. I want to see what they're up to," weren't as valuable as far as advertising revenue and all this different stuff like that as the first group of. I mean, they say they have a 65,000 group people that are hardcore users that. I mean, those 65,000 people brought in over 130,000 page views and everything. And I mean, then nearly quadruple that number of followers that they had after that. At only about 20,000 page views. So I mean,